have in front of me a D-Link 4G router, and it comes with detachable aerials. It's available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to give an overview of exactly what we get. The typical application of this, I'll just start off and say, is what we have is we're trying to put in a broadband connection somewhere that there is no landline option, or that we need it as a backup router. So we have a router similar to this always in our warehouses, so that if the broadband service goes down, we can slap in a 4G router and just get our network back up in a matter of minutes. Okay, so it comes in this outer box here. So it's 4G and it's LTE. So it's just filtering out, we'll say, any of the interference that normally come, and it's the part of the spectrum, we'll say, to support 4G is primarily where we're aimed at. So if we come along, we'll say, and we look at the speeds we can support here with it. So it's 866 megabits per second at 5 gigahertz, or if we're using it at 3 megabits mode, our 2.4 gigahertz mode, we can get 300 megabits per second on it. So it has an external power unit here with a 3-pin plug. There's adapter in the box for a 2-pin as well, but obviously everybody in Ireland and UK will be using 3-pin. So we just push directly in here, and then what we have here is, if we were just using as a straightforward router, we just connect the LAN connection in there. But what we're doing here is we're just have a cable here, for instance, and we just run it over. There's 4 outputs on it. Okay. So there's a Wi-Fi optionality built within it. It's broadcasting out. There's an on-off switch, and most importantly, there's a SIM card holder here. So if you just get your 4G SIM card, the typical one, probably the most common one in the Irish Republic, would be 3, because you can, for instance, you're paying 20 euros for pretty well unlimited broadband over a 30-day period, and that's obviously counted quite attractive. There's no connection between us and 3, it's just that we use them. Okay, right. What to call it? So the next thing here is, this is a really key selling point, and a big advantage it has. I'm speaking now when it's the actual, I think it's the version 3 TP-Link version that's on the market. These are detachable, okay? And the great advantage of that is this is what's pulling in the signal. But if you're in a weak reception area where you really want to boost your signal, get it stronger, what you can do instead is use MIMO aerials. So what happens with the 4G network is you're effectively using 2 aerial inputs. So that's how the technology is horizontal and vertical, and they're feeding directly in. So if we look, we'll say, at a small unit here, it just comes, there's 2 little cables on it that just screw directly in. You mount something like that on your window sill, something like that, and you're just picking up a strong signal, running it in. So if you have the router in an area of the house that hasn't got particularly strong reception, you can just blast it off there. And that one there comes with a 5-meter cable. This one here comes with a 5-meter cable, although it's possible to extend. What it comes along is what I had said about the 5 thing. This is actually 2 areas built into things. There's a cable here that's 5 meters long, and what we do is we run the cable down and run it directly in here. Okay. So that's exactly how we'd be supporting that. So again, we'd have the paddles taken off and all the rest of it. So the great advantage of using the D-Link one is that if you come along and you put it in, it works great off the SIM card, no problems off the paddles. That's super, problem solved. But if you come along and you say, well, look, that's not as good as I need a dB gain. With the ones that have a fixed paddles on it where you can't take off the aerials, you're just, at that point you're screwed. You can't do anything else. Where the aerials are here, and the aerials are hugely effective. Like, we've really seen a huge increase. When we did a test in one of our own rooms here, we were, I think, running in at about 8 or 9 meg using the router directly off a SIM card, and when we added the aerial on, we boosted it up to about 16 meg. So we saw a very significant thing for a very low investment. So not everybody wants an aerial, but some people do. So that's it anyway, an overview of the D-Link 4G router with detachable antennas available directly from freetv.ie.